Hello, Gen Z. Today, we're diving into the exciting world of financial independence. Whether you're just starting your career or you're still in school, these 10 strategies will empower you to take control of your financial future. Because let's face it, previous generations haven't left y'all with much to work with. And I kind of know what that feels like because boomers didn't leave millennials with a lot to work with either. And I'm not crying, you're crying. So let's jump right into this because the sooner you can start implementing these strategies to gain financial independence, the sooner we can all stop crying. So let's go. Tip number 1, budgeting like a pro. First up, mastering the art of budgeting. Create a detailed budget that tracks your income and expenses. Use budgeting apps, set financial goals, and prioritize saving. This foundational step will provide a clear picture of your financial health and guide your spending decisions. This is such an important step. That's why I want to put it at number 1, because learning to budget is very important. And I know that most of us in public school didn't learn how to do this, but there are so many people online, so many templates, so many courses, so many apps. It is easier than ever to budget like a pro. So utilize the tools that you have at your disposal and get started, because this is the most important tip out of all of these. Tip number 2, embrace the side hustle culture. Gen Z is known for their entrepreneurial spirit. Y'all have created jobs that did not exist before, and it's been amazing to watch. Tip number 2 is all about embracing that side hustle culture, whether it's freelancing, selling handmade crafts online, starting a small business, door dashing, content creation, you name it. Diversifying your income streams can accelerate your journey to financial independence. Do you think that Taylor Swift makes money just by being on tour? Absolutely not. She makes money from album sales, streaming services, merch sales. She has many streams of income, and look at her. I'm not saying you're going to be as rich as Taylor Swift. I cannot make that promise, but I'm just saying it's a good example of why multiple income streams is important, and one way to do that is by side hustling. Get you a side job. Tip number 3, invest early and wisely. Time is your greatest asset when it comes to investing, and y'all have time on your side. What a beautiful, wonderful thing. So it's time to learn the basics of investing early, even if it's just with a small amount. You got to start somewhere. Understanding the power of compound interest and explore investment options like low-cost index funds. Start building your wealth for long term. The majority of people start saving for retirement and things like that way too late. Like I said, you've got time on your side. Start now. Tip number 4, prioritize financial education. Knowledge is key, everybody. Invest time in your financial education. Understand the basics of personal finance, learn about investing, and stay informed about economic trends. There are plenty of online resources, books, and podcasts to help you become financially literate. There are so many ways to just continue your education when it comes to finances. Like I said, most of us didn't learn in school about much of anything when it comes to finances. So we're on our own out here trying to learn from scratch, starting from the bottom up. But you've got everything at your disposal to learn everything you can. So prioritize your financial education. Tip number 5, build a strong credit history. This one is super important and I can't stress it enough, but I don't want to linger too long on it because I know a lot of you out there listening have already made some mistakes and maybe you don't have the best credit score. And I don't want you to feel guilt and shame about that because it happens. It's pretty easy to mess up your credit, especially when you're just starting out and times are hard. You're trying to start your life and it can be difficult, so don't feel guilty. Just take the steps towards repairing it. It will take time, but it is possible. You can, and I know that you will do it. Maybe you don't have any credit right now, or your credit's perfect. That's awesome. Try to maintain that as best as you can, because let me tell you something. Your credit score is your financial reputation. I want you to think about a dumb mistake you've made. A mistake that you didn't want anybody to know about because you're thinking to yourself, if anybody knows about this, they may look at me differently. They may not trust me, all because of this one dumb mistake that I made. And you tell your best friend in the whole wide world and you make them promise not to tell anybody else. And they go and tell the entire town. So now everybody is looking at you sideways and it's awful. Well, that's what bad credit's like. You mess up with one company, then everybody else is going to look at you with a side eye because now they think you're not trustworthy and they don't want to loan you any money or help you with anything. So just keep that in mind. Your credit score is your financial reputation. This tip is all about building a strong credit history. Use your credit responsibly, pay your bills on time, and be mindful of your credit utilization. A good credit score will open doors to better interest rates and financial opportunities. Tip number 6, negotiation skills matter. Don't underestimate the power of negotiation. Whether it's your salary, freelance rates, or even everyday purchases, developing strong negotiation skills can save you money and increase your earning potential. I have never paid full price for a car or a home that I've purchased ever. I've always negotiated, went in there and talked them down, and I've always walked out paying significantly less than what they were asking. You know, when it comes to negotiation, confidence is key. So practice and refine your negotiation techniques, and soon you'll be a pro and you'll be able to get the best deal and the best opportunities available. Tip number 7, leverage technology for savings. In the digital age, technology is your ally. And Gen Z, y'all have the upper hand here because y'all grew up with tech, y'all understand tech. So this is going to be so much easier for y'all than if I was, let's say, making this video for boomers or even older millennials. So you guys definitely have the upper hand here. Use apps and tools to automate your savings, set up automatic transfers to your savings account, take advantage of cashback apps, and utilize roundup features that invest your spare change. Make technology work for your financial goals. Call your bank or financial institution and see if they offer anything like that. I know that with my bank, every time I use my debit card, it rounds up to the nearest dollar. And whatever that difference is, they put it right in my savings. And I don't have to do anything and I don't have to think about it. And I'll just look at my savings and there's money there. So yeah, utilize the tools that you have at your disposal. Tip number 8, network and mentorship. Networking is more than just a buzzword. This tip is all about building a strong professional network and seeking mentorship. Connect with experienced individuals in your field, attend networking events, and learn from those who have already navigated the path to financial independence. The fact that you're watching this video and listening to me talk right now means that you've already taken the first step. You already know that there's a need and you're taking the necessary steps to do what you need to do to gain financial independence. Just take that a step further. Seek out mentors and look for ways to network so that you can surround yourself with people who are financially independent and successful, because that will help you build your mindset and also gain financial independence. Tip number 9, stay mindful of lifestyle inflation. This is something I really want you to think about because the last few years, inflation is something we have talked about a lot. We've been hearing that word. It's been in the forefront of our minds, but I can tell you right now, in my early 20s, never gave it a thought. Never, not once, for a single moment did I ever stop and think about inflation. But I want you to think about inflation because the cost of living goes up every single year. And you know what doesn't tend to go up as often or as much? Wages. So definitely, I want you to resist the temptation to increase your spending in proportion to your income. Now, I know that when you start making more money, you want to spend more money. And to an extent, you absolutely can. But instead of spending more money because you're making more money, I want you to focus more on maintaining a sustainable lifestyle and channeling extra income towards your financial goals. So instead of just taking that money and just spending it, take that money and invest it in your future, and you will be much better off for it, I promise. And finally, tip number 10, plan for the future, emergency funds, and retirement. So this final tip is all about planning for your future, establishing an emergency fund to cover unexpected expenses, and to start thinking about retirement right now. Now, It's always good to have emergency money set aside for the unexpected things. We're not psychics. We don't know what's around every corner. Your car could break down tomorrow. Your cat could get sick. You could break a bone. There's just things that we may not foresee happening. Now, I also understand that saving money is a privilege. And if you are watching this video, it's probably because you're not in the best place financially right now and you want to change that. You may not have a penny left to your name after you pay bills. You may be struggling to pay your bills. So I understand that saving money sounds laughable to a certain extent to many of us. And I get that. I do. So that's where you're going to go back to tip number 1 and learn how to budget like a pro, because it's going to help you in the long run. Anywhere you can cut corners and anything you can set aside. And it may take you a very long time to set up a nice little emergency fund, but just start now. And also start planning for your retirement. Like I said, most of us start planning for that too late, and then we don't have enough when we retire. So start looking into that now. If you work for a company that offers a 401k, I highly recommend that you start putting some money into it. There's also other companies that you can set up a 401k through that doesn't even have to be through your employer. So start looking into those options, the best option for you. It's never too early to start thinking about your future. You have time on your side, Gen Z. That is what it's so beautiful about this. You can start thinking about this right now. Take advantage of that time to secure a comfortable financial future. So there you have it, 10 strategies to help Gen Z gain financial independence. Remember, it is never too early to start taking control of your finances. So if you found these tips helpful, please do me a big favor and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and share it with your fellow Gen Zers so you can all be on the road to financial independence. Thank you so much for watching this video and listening to me ramble on. So until next time, stay financially empowered.